Hey everyone, before you watch this video make sure you've seen part 1, the link will be in the description. A quick note before this one starts, I'm planning to stream on Twitch like all day on September 10th, that's a Wednesday, because there will be a massive new Genshin Impact update, so I want to play it all on stream. Stop by if you're interested. I'll also have my Twitch channel linked in the description. This is totally irrelevant, but I just feel the need to let y'all know that I'm currently watching Bakugo, Dandadan Season 2, and the Summer Hikaru Died. I'm also watching other things at the moment, but those 3 are complete and utter peak, and I highly recommend every single one of you to check them out if you haven't already. Anyways, with all that out of the way, let's get into the video. The day after Katsuki had cried and clung onto Isuko like a baby, he was feeling a little extra needy, like he knew he wanted to spend more time with the other boy, but he definitely couldn't just say that. So instead he'd thought of the perfect excuse. He spent the entire school day acting a lot lazier with his notes, hardly writing anything down, because he knew that meant Deku would have to come to his dorm and copy over all his own notes. So there they were, sat in Deku's room, the blonde boy at his desk scribbling away while Bakugo sat on the bed watching, picking at nothing on the sheets as he racked his mind for a way to drag this out. Only for the following words to naturally fall out of his mouth, conveying the total opposite of what he really felt. "You're taking so long. Well, if you didn't want me to have to do this, then you should have written more notes. If I did that, then you wouldn't be here." Sigh. "I got sick of being a nerd. I dunno how you do it every day. I'm surprised you gave up so fast. It's unlike you." "Hey, I only never give up on things that actually matter." "I dunno, you're like the most petty competitive person I know. I can't see you giving up on this without an ulterior motive. What's that supposed to mean?" He sat up straighter on the bed, his heart jumping at the teasing tone of Deku's voice. He couldn't possibly know the real reason Bakugo was doing this, right? "I dunno, you're probably doing it so I look stupid in class or something." "Oh, is that not it?" He turned in the desk chair to look at the freckled boy on the bed, and that only made Bakugo's cheeks flush pink as he stammered to think of the right excuse. "I just couldn't be bothered. There's no other reason." Shut up and write your notes, nerd." All right, I'm almost done. We've got physical quirk training tomorrow, right?" What happens if we still haven't swapped back?" "We'll just have to try our best, like actually, you can't give up on that." "Cha, I wouldn't, you know I wanted to use your quirks anyway." "Oh, speaking of which, shouldn't we actually practice a little bit?" "How? We can't exactly go anywhere without someone catching on and asking what we're doing." Well, you could just practice with Black Whip a little more now, and take it easy by only using that and doing some, punching and kicking tomorrow." "Practice Black Whip, now? In your room?" "Yeah, if you do it right then it's not like you need a lot of space, just practice grabbing things with it, get a better idea of how to control it, you know?" Alright, I did already figure this shit out once, I guess," he stated smugly, though that little bit of self-assuredness quickly dissipated as the wispy black tendrils shot out of his fingers and instantly gripped tightly onto Deku's arms. Remember to keep focused and calm." He panicked but cut himself off with a gasp as his chair rolled across the floor toward Bakugo, who was still sat on the bed, both of them staring with wide eyes as they suddenly became much closer. "Why does this happen every time?" He frantically looked down at his own hands, attempting to calm down while also avoiding eye contact, but his heart rate began to thump as the boy before him reached out to grasp his wrists. Breathe, Ka-chan. Black Whip responds strongly to emotion, it always has. "What are you feeling?" "Well, annoyed because it keeps grabbing you." "But why is it reaching for me?" "I don't know, why would I know?" "Well, because it reacts to your emotions. I mean, is it just because you wanna fight me or something?" "No, that's not what I'm thinking about. I'm just trying to make it listen to me. This stupid quirk knows my emotions, my feelings. It knows I wanna be closer to Deku. I don't mean it literally, I mean like, closer in a feeling type way." "Ow, it's getting tighter, Ka-chan. But because you're stressing me out, then let's calm down. Let go of me." "You let go first." "I'm trying, Ka-chan," he yelled and pulled Bakugo even closer, ripping the air from his lungs as he stumbled off the bed and fell against Deku's lap. It felt like his mind went completely blank, and as a result the Black Whip tendrils instantly fizzled away. What? Sorry, you weren't relaxing, so I thought maybe shocking you would do the trick instead." "Oh." He blinked and pushed himself away from the boy still glued to the chair, clearing his throat and running a hand through his hair. a habit he'd grown to love since inheriting Izuku's soft curls. I think I'm done trying to make that work. Probably for the best, yeah. So, I'll get out of your way, hopefully we'll be back to normal tomorrow. Right. He watched as Deku hurriedly swept all his notes into his bag and rushed toward the door, the two of them avoiding eye contact as he mumbled a goodbye and left. Fuck, what the hell is wrong with me? Am I literally turning into Deku or something? Why am I so fucking awkward? He paced back and forth as his heart thumped. It was getting bad. The way he felt around Deku was getting worse every time he saw him. He'd never had to deal with anything like this before. In a moment of desperation he reached for his phone, typing out a jumbled message telling Kirishima to get to his, Deku's dorm right away, and within minutes there was a knock on the door. Come in. Wait, what are you doing here? Sorry, he was with me already and I figured, since he already knows about the whole body switch thing he could just tag along. What's wrong with me being here? Sigh, you're going to say some annoying shit that'll only make me feel more fucked up about this whole thing. What whole thing? The body swap? Bakugo sighed but ushered the two boys in anyway. He continued pacing as Kirishima perched on the edge of Deku's bed and Kaminari slumped down on the spinny chair like he owned the place. Yes and no, it's just, Deku. What about him? Oh, your crush? Maybe, whatever it is, it's getting worse. Isn't that a little weird? You're saying you like him more since he basically became you? Fuck off, this is why I didn't want you here. We've just had to spend more time together, and I'm stuck looking at his actual face every time I look in the mirror. I've had to shower as him, you know, it's fucking weird. We all share the dorm baths all the time? That's not the same as me literally going to use the shampoo and feeling his fucking soft wavy hair through my fingers, or you know, literally rubbing soap over my body knowing I'm touching his. Damn Bakugo, you aren't touching. Shut up. Look, besides that, I had to go with him to his mom's last night. We had dinner, it was nice. That does sound nice. You don't get it. We hugged. It was weird but it felt really fucking nice, and now today when he was in here doing his nerd shit all I could think about was wanting to be closer to him. I didn't think I meant it literally but his fucking black whip pulled him right over and… Whoa, slow down. Look man, I know you might think this is weird but it's totally normal to get feelings like this for someone. Not for me it's not. Maybe not until now but there's nothing wrong with it. Once the quirk wears off you should totally go for it. What? Go for it? For what? You know, ask him out or something. What kind of idiotic suggestion is that? Why did you tell me to come over if you're not going to listen to my advice? Well, I thought you were just going to tell me I was being ridiculous and I should stop thinking about any of this because the idea is totally hopeless? What? But it's not. Could either of you ever imagine me in a relationship with anyone, let alone Deku? Of course not. Come on man. I don't even know how to treat Deku with a shred of decency or respect. How could I possibly be in an actual relationship with him? What would that even be like? Okay, so it would probably be weird and difficult for you at first, but if you really feel that type of way about him then you at least need to accept that and really let it sink in. Stop fighting it. Be honest with yourself without having some sort of inner hatred or judgment for it. Damn bro, you're actually being like philosophical and shit. When does Bakugo ever actually ask us for help with something? I asked you, not him. Well, I just didn't think it was a massive deal. I mean Deku obviously likes him back, so seriously what's the fuss about? What the fuck could ever possibly make you think that? Oh, I dunno, maybe the insane amount of times he's tried to get your attention and approval in literally any way, the way he talks about you and the way he looks at you, maybe the fact that every single thing he does seems to revolve around you in some way. Alright man, come on, that's a lot to pile on him. He's just making shit up. Think about it. You're always calling me a dumbass but like geez, have you ever actually thought about the way Deku acts around you? You've known him your whole life and you can't figure that out? Bakugo was lost for words. He looked to Kirishima for some sort of rebuttal, but the boy offered none, merely looking at him in a pitiful sort of way, as if confirming everything Kaminari had said. This is ridiculous. You're no help at all. We can't lie to you man. Just go away, leave. I don't know why I called you here. He stormed over to the door and opened it, glaring at the two boys as they sighed and made their way over. Kirishima could see the way Bakugo's hands were shaking. He was acting like an asshole to get them to leave without a fight, but he was clearly taking what they'd said to heart. Seriously? Just drop it. Sorry dude. The moment they were gone Bakugo slammed the door and began pacing again. They don't know anything, they wouldn't know how Deku feels about me. I've said awful things to him. He said he never hated me, but that doesn't mean anything else. I have known him my whole life, I would know. I said to leave me alone. He opened the door only to have his frown replaced by shock as Todoroki stood the other side with a similar wide-eyed stare. What was that about? I saw Kaminari and Kirishima leaving your room. I thought Bakugo was here. Why were you yelling? Oh, yeah bah, Ka-chan forgot something so they came by to get it. Right, so why were you mad at them? I wasn't. That was just a joke. If you say so. He huffed before brushing past the shorter boy to come right into the room and flop back onto the bed with a deep sigh. Fuck, does this asshole not wait to be invited in? My stupid old man won't stop spam messaging me again. You don't reply? All he's doing is complaining that I didn't do my pro studies with him again. But I can't even feel that mad. Spending time with Hanta while we worked with Hawks was just so great, I don't even have it in me to care what he thinks. Alright, I don't need to hear about the wonderful time you had with your boyfriend. What is up with you? Oh, nothing. Sorry, I dunno why I said that. I'm being a total dick right now. Well, I wasn't gonna say anything, but you know I am surprised you've stooped so low. What? The fact you've started using notes as an excuse to spend more time with Bakugo, as if you'd ever need his notes. Has your crush really got that bad? Bakugo merely blinked, his cheeks going pink as Todoroki sat there staring, unrelenting. What do you mean? Well, you know, sorry, I don't know why we're being all spiteful to each other. No, what do you mean, my crush? On Bakugo? I know you don't like talking about it, I'm sorry I rubbed it in like that. Get out. Midoriya, I'm sorry, please just leave me alone. His eyes were glued to the floor. He didn't even look up as he heard the other boy eventually relent and shuffle out the door. The next day, Izuku woke up groggily, a tell that he was definitely still in Katsuki's body, and begrudgingly got ready for school. He'd been praying that they'd change back to normal before ever having to use their quirks in front of other people, but of course the universe had other plans. And as he reached Bakugo's locker to collect his gym clothes for the day, he was taken aback as a pale pink envelope came flying out as he opened the door. What? He looked around but realized he was there alone, so figured he may as well take a look at what it was. Sure, it said Katsuki in fancy swirly writing on the front, but he was kind of Katsuki right now, so he couldn't help himself. He tore open the top and pulled out the paper inside. It had been scented with some sort of floral smell, and as he unfolded it to read, his heart dropped. Dear Katsuki, I heard you did your recent hero studies with Selkie. I'm sure we'll all see some new techniques involving water soon. I can always make you a new support item to help with it. Let me know. Anyway, I just wanted to say that you looked really cool when I saw you the other day. I hope I can see you again soon. Remember where to find me if you ever need anything. Love, Chatie. What? This is a love note? Like, a pretty casual one too. Does she send these a lot? Does she see Ka-chan a lot? Is this who Kaminari was talking about? His mind was whirling as he stood there scanning the words over and over, until the bell rang and crowded chatter began swarming in his direction. He panicked and shoved the letter back into the locker before rushing to his gym class. He had no clue how to bring the letter up to the real Bakugo, so he wasn't sure whether to be worried or relieved when he reached the changing rooms and the other boy was avoiding him entirely. He wouldn't even look at him. Hey, Kirishima? Sup Baku? Oh, what's up? Kirishima faltered a little and quietened his voice down when he remembered this was in fact not Bakugo he was speaking to. What's up with Ka-chan? He whispered, and the red-haired boy's eyes widened as he looked over to the freckled boy who had hastily changed and was already rushing out the room. I'm not sure. I mean, Kami and I kind of accidentally may have pissed him off yesterday, but that's not really anything new. He is acting weird for sure. Maybe he's just worried about using your quirks, you know? I guess, thanks. He shrugged it off as they all finished changing and headed toward the gym hall. It was only as they entered he noticed Todoroki, stood by himself and looking over to Bakugo, who he thought was Deku, with an expression he couldn't quite read. What is going on? Is Todoroki upset with me? No, he looks guilty. What happened? I've predetermined pairings for today. You'll spar with one another to test out any new techniques you learned in your recent hero studies. Bakugo with Todoroki, Ida with Kirishima, Midoriya with Uraraka. He continued reading off the pairs, but Deku blocked it out. This was perfect. He was paired with Todoroki so he could ask what the hell happened between him and Bakugo. Oi, icy hot. What? Geez, Are you alright? Why would you care? Well, because we have to fight. I'm not gonna fight you if you're not doing it properly. You're moping. I'm fine. In fact, I'd very much like to fight something right now. So you are mad about something? Yeah, I am. Oh, is it about Deku? What? How do you know that? You were staring at him. You looked like a kicked puppy. He didn't do anything. It was me. I fucked up. It's none of your business anyway. I'll fight properly, alright? Okay. He fucked up? What does he mean by that? Is that why Ka-chan was acting weird this morning too? What could he have even said? Before long he was snapped out of his thoughts as the hall became filled with a symphony of loud sounds, explosions, and zaps and yelling. The class were all sparring. Are we gonna fight or what? Right? Get ready to die. God, that's cringe. Why does Ka-chan say that? They began to exchange blows, but as the fight went on, Todoroki couldn't help feeling strange. Bakugo was hardly attacking. He was mostly using his explosions to block and evade the attacks coming his way. It wasn't long before a big chunk of ice smacked Deku in the face and he was stumbling back with a hand to his head. Oh, sorry. It's okay. It didn't hurt because you're so weak. Right, but Bakugo, you might have a concussion. You should probably go to recovery, girl. I'm fine. You only hit me because I was trying my new techniques anyway. They need more work. Is that why you weren't fighting back? Obviously, you know I'd love more than anything to blow you up. Yeah, I guess. He was just about to push for the blonde boy to go get checked, when they were distracted by a commotion nearby them in the hall. Deku-kun, I can't fight you if you aren't fighting back. What are you doing? I'm trying. Trust me, I'm not doing this on purpose. Deku watched as Bakugo stood in a cloud of pink smoke, clenching and opening his fists as Black Whip flailed about seemingly with zero end goal. It's not going to you. It won't grab you? Well, should we stop? You should maybe talk to All Might or something. This is fucking ridiculous. He yelled and Deku's eyes widened as a bunch of nearby classmates all looked over in shock, so he rushed over, but so did Todoroki. Are you alright, Midoriya? The previously frustrated boy seemed to clam up as he was suddenly surrounded, and in his moment of panic, feeling overwhelmed from all the eyes on him, Black Whip of course finally zipped out of his hands with a purpose, wrapped right around Deku's arms and torso. Deku-kun, what's going on? This stupid shit doesn't work. The only thing it ever listens to is the dumb feeling that I wanna be closer to Deku, but why is that so important? It's stupid, it's not what I mean at all. He obviously just means he wants to be closer to his ideal version of himself. No, Izuku, I want to be close to you, but not literally. I don't think. That's not what I mean. I don't know what the fuck I mean anymore. Ka-chan? At this point more of their classmates had gathered round and were exceedingly confused, but some seemed to be catching on to what was happening. Oh my god, you switched. You are each other. What? Sigh, can everyone please settle down? When Aizawa walked over and everyone's attention moved over to him for a moment, Bakugo finally managed to get Black Whip under control again and let go of Deku. Sensei, please, can I leave? Alright, fine, yes, whatever. I knew you two trying to keep this a secret was a terrible idea. He sighed, but Bakugo shoved through everyone and rushed away, leaving their classmates to instead turn to Deku in confusion and start bombarding him with questions. How did this happen? Are you okay, Deku-chan? This explains so much. We already knew, you know. Aizawa-sensei? What? Can I be excused too, please? At least that'll make the numbers even again, but don't make this a habit. Go on. Thank you. He mumbled and pushed through everyone to follow after Bakugo, but he was already long gone, so he instead took his time getting changed again and trudging back to his dorm. Well, he'd spent so long in Bakugo's dorm that he didn't even think twice before making his way there. It probably didn't help that he was distracted by reading the stupid love note over and over while he walked. I hope I can see you again soon. Remember where to find me if you ever need anything. Again soon. Again. See you again. See him again. How often do they see each other? If she's the girl Ka-chan has a crush on, then what was that weird situation? He wants to be closer to me, but not physically? I guess he just wants to be friends again? Yeah, that's probably it. Sigh. How do I even tell Ka-chan I read this? Without even a second thought he reached Bakugo's dorm and opened the door, only to freeze in place as he spotted his own body lying on the bed face down already. Oh, Ka-chan, sorry. I don't even have the energy to be mad at you right now. He sighed and mumbled into his pillow before turning to face the door with a tired frown, which only deepened as he looked down at the letter in his hands. Oh, Shit Ka-chan, I'm sorry, I found this in your locker and read it without thinking. I wasn't sure what you'd want me to do about it, so I just He cut himself off as Bakugo stood up and walked closer, snatching the letter from his hands to screw it up without even reading it, tossing it into the bin beside his desk, and going back to flop onto the bed face first again. But, Ka-chan. She's been leaving me letters for so fucking long, since the sports festival. What? Have you not said anything back? I don't even know who she is, how could I? She said she saw you the other day? She probably walked past me in the hall, I dunno who she is, Deku. But she left her name, she's in the support course, Ka-chan. You know, the girl with that quirk that lets her hands go tiny so she can make super small detailed support items without crazy tools. God, Deku, just shut up for a minute, will you? I don't care about some stupid girl, I just want to lie on my bed in my room. Oh, should I go? He gulped as Bakugo turned his face to look at him again, frowning in thought before rolling onto his back to look up at the ceiling. No. Deku didn't respond, he merely looked around before sitting in his desk chair nervously. So you just came here to lie down? Yup. Why here and not my dorm? Because this is my room and I miss it. Right, so why don't you want me to leave? Because you want to be closer to me? No, not like that. You want to be friends again? No. What? I mean yes, I guess, yeah. You guess? Ka-chan, I don't understand. Neither do I. Well, fuck, I do, I don't want it to be this way, but if I say it or believe it then it's real. I'm so confused. Icy Hot said you have a crush on me, you know. Todoroki said what? He was probably just making it up to throw shit at you or whatever. I was rude to him, he was just being a dickbag. You actually made me fight with Todoroki-kun? Well, he still ran over to make sure I was okay today, so he's clearly not mad. Don't worry, nerd, your best friend is still obsessed with you. Well, Kaminari-kun said you have a crush on someone too. Yeah, and I already told you that wasn't true. What about yours? What? Well, you never said it was a lie. Deku? I mean, I never called it that. You. This is really hard to talk about while I'm looking at myself. You like me? I like Ka-chan? Not you in my body? The room fell silent and Deku could feel his heart thumping as though it were right behind his eyes. After all these years, he'd just come out and said it. I think we should stop talking until we're back to normal. Please? I want my room back, so, right? Everyone knows now, so yeah, I'll go, yeah. He shot up from the chair and rushed to the door but froze, looking back one last time at the boy who was staring at him from the bed, both their cheeks bright red as the room felt suffocatingly quiet. Sorry, he mumbled before finally going out into the hallway, closing the door behind him as he turned and pressed his head against the wall beside it. I can't believe I said that. If he's telling the truth and Kaminari was just teasing, then I know he doesn't like anyone, and if he's lying then I know he likes someone, and there's just no universe it's me. We get along better than we used to, but I'm sure he doesn't even see me as his friend. He frowned and huffed before pushing away from the wall and trudging his way back to his own dorm, grateful that everyone usually in their building was still in lesson, so he could take his time as he sulked all the way there. Meanwhile, fuck, Deku likes me. He literally fucking said he liked me. He said he never called it a crush, but he didn't say that wasn't what it was. Deku likes me, but I'm an idiot? He stood from the bed and ran his fingers through his hair, gripping it a little as he began to pace yet again. I said, Dun's face lied. He thinks I don't have a crush on anyone, or is that a good thing? Maybe if he thought it was true he wouldn't think it was about him, so maybe that's okay? Why the fuck am I being such a baby about this? It's because I'm stuck in this body. I swear it's messing with how I think and act. I have a crush on Deku. It's fucking true and real and stupid, but it's true. And he likes me back? I know he likes me back, but he doesn't know I like him, so it's on me to fix this shit. I'm the one who has to say something when we're back to normal? That's not hard. Why the fuck would I be scared of telling dumb Deku that I like him actually? I have to confess, that's fucking awkward, but I can obviously do that. Maybe I should practice. Yeah, nothing wrong with practicing. It's like training, you get stronger when you train. He had officially convinced himself that he would confess to Deku when they swapped back, but in order to practice, being in each other's bodies was actually the perfect scenario, so he headed into the bathroom and stared at himself in the mirror. I'm used to this face now, it's easy to look at, he's pretty. Except when it goes bright fucking red. Cha, it's still cute when it's red, who am I kidding? This is so stupid. He huffed before bracing himself on the edge of the sink and looking dead ahead into Izuku's deep green eyes, taking a deep breath. It wasn't a lie, I did realize I might have had a crush on someone. Well no wait that's not true, I didn't think it was a crush, but Dun's face and shitty hair said I did, so I kinda believed them I guess. Fuck, I'm rambling, wait, start over. Sigh, I know I treat you like shit, but I don't mean to. Well sometimes I do, you really can get on my nerves you know. Why am I insulting him? This should not be this hard, look at his face, and just say it. Kirishima said the first step was to fully accept it and be honest with myself. Have I done that? I like Izuku, I really like him. He's annoying and a smartass and too nice to everyone, but that's the fucking thing. He's nice to me even though I'm the biggest piece of shit he's ever known. He still supports me and smiles at me and hypes up every single thing I do like I'm a god on earth. His stupid freckles are cute. His hair is so soft. His eyes are so fucking bright and big and they suck me in. His lips. He cut himself off with a gasp as he caught himself staring at Izuku's lips in the reflection. But when those lips uttered the words he was saying, it was as though reality slapped him in the face. I wanna kiss him. I've never kissed anyone. I've never thought about kissing anyone. Why did I want to kiss him just then? He looked back up to his reflection and really saw the expression on his face, the glimmer in his eye and the pink hue to his cheeks. This expression was so familiar. Was this how Izuku usually looked at him? If I'm looking at him like this cause I like him, then he looks at me like this cause he likes me. Cute. He found himself subconsciously leaning closer to the mirror, his eyes flicking down to Izuku's lips again, until they ever so slightly touched the cold surface of the mirror and he reeled back. God, what the fuck am I doing? I need to stop. He figured he needed an early night, so he quickly had a cold shower and bundled himself up in bed, praying that they would finally switch back tomorrow. The next morning, Katsuki woke up slower than usual, his eyes peeling open in his half-asleep state only to meet the same massive All Might poster he'd woken up to every morning lately. He felt his body slump as he groaned. He was still in Deku's room. He didn't know how to get through the day still being swapped, after everything that had happened the day before. So as he hesitantly trudged to the bathroom, his mind was so preoccupied that he actually almost jumped out of his skin as he saw himself in the mirror. And that was just it. It really was himself. What? I'm me again. He brought his hands up to his face, stretching and squishing his own skin as he began to laugh. He'd totally forgotten that they spent the night in their own dorms again last night. Of course he woke up in Deku's. He had never felt this intense mixture of relief and excitement in his life. It was as though he were on cloud nine, so much so that he absolutely could not stop himself as he instantly raced out of the room. He followed the familiar path, rushing through the halls toward his own dorm knowing he'd find Izuku inside. But of course he bumped right into two people on the way. Whoa Midoriya, why are you running around in Bakugo's underwear? It's me you idiots, I'm me again? I don't fucking care what I'm wearing, I'm finally normal? He didn't even slow down as he raced past them both, making the two boys look to one another with a raised brow before rushing after him. Well hang on a minute, you've gotta prove you're really Bakugo again. He was cut off as the blonde boy turned and set off an explosion in Kaminari's face, without an ounce of hesitation. I'm way too excited to be dealing with your bullshit today. Yeesh, alright I believe him, I didn't miss that feeling. Bakugo finally reached his dorm and barged right in to see Deku sat on his bed. His eyes shot over in shock and he stood up, opening his mouth to speak but having his words muffled as the blonde boy marched over and smushed his face between his hands. Deku was shocked into silence as Bakugo stared deeply into his eyes before leaning back with a triumphant laugh. I can finally look at you without seeing your face through a mirror anymore. I'm really me and you're really you? This is so great. Oh, He managed to mumble through his squished lips, feeling his cheeks going red at their close proximity. Yes? And I don't have to feel that stupid blush on my cheeks 24/7. So stupid? He asked and only blushed harder from the embarrassment, making Bakugo finally let go of his face and take a small step back. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean it like that. He managed to mumble an apology, but when he looked back up into Deku's eyes, the boy was much too busy looking down at his bare thighs. Just because I know you like me now doesn't mean you can be so obvious, perv. Waka-chan, no I'm sorry He flailed his hands around in panic before reaching up to cover his eyes and doing a complete 180 to face the wall behind him. You should have borrowed a pair of my shorts, or get dressed now. I didn't mean to look, I swear nothing has to be different, I'm sorry I have a crush on you, I wish I didn't, I really? Would you shut up a minute? Izuku's panicked yelling fizzled to nothing, but he still refused to turn back around. Why do you wish you didn't have a crush on me? Am I really that bad? What? The question instantly made him whip back around to look into Bakugo's eyes with sincerity. Of course not. There's nothing wrong with you, Ka-chan. I just don't want to make things uncomfortable. I promise it doesn't have to be, but I understand if you don't want to be anywhere near me anymore. I swear I'll try to move on. But I don't want you to. What? His eyes widened before he looked down to the floor with a pout, wringing his hands together in front of him nervously. Well, that's a little unfair. Why? While Izuku's eyes were glued to the floor, Katsuki began to take small, subtle steps closer, trying his best to stifle his grin as the freckled boy was oblivious to his advances. You want me to suffer with an unrequited crush? Who said it's unrequited? Huh? He finally looked back up and his heart jumped as he noticed how much closer Katsuki had gotten, making him instinctively stumble backwards in panic. Wait, Ka-chan, what do you mean? But Bakugo didn't reply. Instead, he took another step closer, making the shorter boy gasp as suddenly Black Whip shot from his hands and tangled Bakugo up. Pfft, oh Izuku, just relax. Ka-chan, I absolutely cannot relax when you're all up in my face saying super crazy things. I like you. You. I practiced confessing in the mirror last night, but it turns out I was totally overthinking it. I really didn't need to complicate anything. I like you and that's that. It's that simple. I can't explain it properly anyway, so just saying it is much easier. But, how? Why? It doesn't make any sense. Katsuki frowned as Izuku looked up into his eyes with pure confusion, tugging him a little closer with Black Whip. It was only recently that I realized you'd always be there when I'm in trouble. But wouldn't you do that for anyone? I know you wouldn't really want to hurt me on purpose anymore, but that doesn't mean you like me in any kind of special way, right? You must just be confused. There's no way. The blonde boy watched as Izuku got visibly disheartened, Black Whip fading away as he looked down to the ground disappointedly. So he sighed, reaching out a hand to hold Izuku's chin and tilt his face up to look at him again. I know I suck at this stuff, but it's true. I think you're smart and all your hard work inspires me. I'm always trying harder to get stronger just because you exist. I want to be there fighting with you forever. I used to think it was because I wanted to beat you, but honestly I just don't want to get left behind. You really see me. You don't just treat me like I'm some rude jerk. You believe in me and trust me to do the right thing. You still smile at me every time you see me, despite everything I've said and done to you. You're too nice, it stresses me out, but fuck, I dunno, I guess I really fucking like that too. Humph. Not to mention that you're just really pretty. The moment he uttered a compliment about his appearance, the freckled boy attempted to turn away again to hide his blush, but Katsuki only pulled him back, making his lips part with a gasp. He found himself instinctively looking down at them and feeling his own face heating up, finally letting go of his chin to gulp and step back. I don't know what else to say. I like you, okay? The room fell quiet and Katsuki finally found himself getting a little shy, crossing his arms over his chest as he scuffed his feet against the carpet and looked away with a huff. I didn't really think about what would happen next. Izuku giggled, and Katsuki looked back over to see that sparkle in his eyes. He felt his cheeks flush a darker pink as he looked away again. I thought you said you were glad to not have that stupid blush on your face. Katsuki scoffed, bringing his hands up to cover his cheeks as he rolled his eyes. I'm not blushing. Yes you are. Nah. Move your hands then. I want them here. To cover your blush? Izuku continued teasing as he stepped closer, until he finally reached up to hold Katsuki's wrists in an attempt to pull his hands from his face. They were both laughing now, albeit Katsuki still trying to act serious, until Izuku's laughter faded away as their faces became so close. They looked at one another, scanning the features they'd grown so accustomed to over the last few days. Until Katsuki once again found his eyes glued to the other boy's lips, and the silent tension in the room became too much to bear. I almost kissed my reflection last night. Izuku's eyes blew wide as he let go of the blonde boy's wrists and slapped a hand over his mouth, once again doing a 180-degree spin to face the other way. But I totally didn't though. I stopped myself before I did. But fuck, I really wanted to. He mumbled, and in an instant Izuku had dropped to the floor, crouching down and letting the quietest squeak out into the palm of his hand. What? Izuku, are you okay? The only response he got was a pitifully muffled whine and a frantic shake of Izuku's head. What's wrong? Do you need me to take you to recovery, girl? No? You just... Ka-chan, you can't say stuff like that. It's too shocking and overwhelming and I might literally die. What? You actually worried me, you know. Can you not be so fucking dramatic and ridiculous? I am absolutely not being ridiculous. That was in fact a very tame reaction. You're lucky I didn't have an actual heart attack and die on the spot. Cha, drama queen. Well, how would you feel if I suddenly blurted out that I wanted to kiss you? I would say fucking perfect and kiss you, you idiot. You're crazy. So what if I am? You like me anyway? We haven't even said anything more than that we like each other, Ka-chan. What more is there to say? Does that not mean we're like a thing now? What? No? Then be my fucking boyfriend, dumbass. But what? Do you actually mean it? Of course I do. What would we have to keep it a secret if I said yes? Are you stupid? Sigh, but Ka-chan, I hate secrets. Obviously we can't keep it a secret. I want everyone to know they need to leave you alone, and also to stop sending me those stupid fucking love letters because I am not interested. Oh, well I mean, you'll be my boyfriend, right? I guess, yeah. So we're dating now? For real? I think so. I've never dated anyone before. How does it work? Can I kiss you now? Wah, we're going to be late for class. You need to get dressed and I need to go back to my dorm. Cha, whatever, nerd. Right? I'll be off then. Just as he went to brush past Bakugo, the blonde boy grabbed onto his arm and pulled him close, before reaching up to run a hand through his hair. Sigh, that's the thing I'll miss most. He sighed and tilted his head to look down at the way Izuku's face was bright red and frozen in shock, so he chuckled and finally released him. See you later, Ka-chan. Izuku kept his head low as he hurried out the room and closed the door behind him, leaving Bakugo to laugh to himself. It was like he was totally blissed out. He'd never experienced this feeling. Everything was right. He was so giddy and smug. I have a boyfriend now. Whenever stupid Mineta or Kaminari make fun of me for being undateable, I'll be the one with the last laugh. I'm dating Izuku. He's actually my fucking boyfriend, for real. Shit, he's my boyfriend. He's not just the kid I grew up making fun of. He's not just some nerd I can tease anymore. He's my boyfriend. I'm supposed to be super mushy and sweet to him, right? Fuck, what if I get pissed off? Can I not yell at him? What if he breaks up with me? I totally cannot get dumped. But why does he even like me in the first place? Holy shit, I got way too confident. He could totally fall in love with someone else, someone who would treat him better. Fuck, why does my chest hurt? He continued getting ready for class, with a lot less vigor now. His good mood had officially been squashed, and when he finally got there it just turned out to be a regular day. Deku had already told Aizawa they swapped back, and they spent most of the day doing boring written work completely on their own. Bakugo avoided his new boyfriend at lunch, though it didn't seem like the freckled boy was exactly trying to be around him either, so they hadn't really spoken at all until the end of the school day rolled around. You guys, we should totally order pizza and watch a movie in the common area. It's been so long since we did anything fun like that. I'm so down. That sounds super fun. I'd love to. I have a lot of studying to catch up on. Come on, Deku-kun, you can take one night off to have fun with everyone, right? I feel like you do deserve to relax a bit. I mean, you should stay. He mumbled and looked into Deku's eyes as their surrounding friends looked over. They were clearly a little surprised. I guess I could catch up another time. Katsuki couldn't help the way his lips pulled up a little in the corners. He looked away to try and hide it as he continued making his way to the common area with his friends. You guys totally saw that, right? What, you asking Midoriya to join us? He was flirting, bro, and it actually worked. I don't think you can call that flirting. You have no idea. What is up with you? Did something happen when you saw him this morning? Something happened, all right. Dude, you're acting super weird. I took your advice. Turns out it wasn't so terrible after all. My advice? What advice did I give you again? You asked him out? He's my boyfriend. Huh? No way, dude. Yeah, actually he totally fucking likes me, so it wasn't that hard. Congrats, man. I'm so happy for you. That's insane. Does he know he's your boyfriend? Shut up, idiot, of course he does. You're literally always teasing me and Shoto, but now you have a boyfriend of your own, huh? Dude, you don't have to bring up your stupid relationship in every single conversation. Sigh, I want a boyfriend. How come Bakugo can get one but I can't? Guess you're just undateable. What? That's so not fair. You don't think I'm undateable, right? He looked to Kirishima with the biggest, shiniest puppy eyes he could muster, and the red-haired boy looked down as his cheeks got warm. No man, of course not. What the fuck, dude? You never stuck up for me when he would call me undateable. I totally did. I literally said I could see you and Midoriya dating. I was the one who encouraged it. You said so yourself. Cha, you just think Dunce Face is dateable cause you wanna date him. He spoke snarkily, but the four of them fell quiet as Kirishima made no attempt to argue back or defend himself. Dude, what the hell? What pizza toppings does everyone want? Their conversation was cut short as they reached the dorm common area and Mina was already sat on the table surrounded by their classmates listing off what they wanted to order. Just get one with all the spicy shit. Do they do like a super meaty option? I'm just making a ton of pizzas with whatever toppings we want. Could I just get one with pork? I don't mind what else is on it. Bakugo turned toward Deku's voice and spotted him sitting on a couch beside Yurika, so he didn't hesitate to head over and seat himself down the other side. Hi. Hey Ka-chan. Izuku became visibly more tense, and Todoroki happened to look over with a frown at the same time. What are you doing? Cha, I wanna sit with Izuku. What's it to you? Izuku? Hey, Deku-kun, are you alright? She leaned in close to whisper the last question, but Bakugo could obviously still hear it. I'm right here, you know. Ka-chan? Please don't yell at her. Yurika-san, it's okay. I'd like to sit with Ka-chan. Don't worry. Katsuki instantly looked to her with that smug expression plastered back across his face, which only made Yurika frown as she stood to go and sit with the girls instead. Good riddance. Ka-chan? She's my friend. She doesn't mean any harm. She totally likes you, nerd. What? No way. Unfortunately, I do think he's right about that one, but you don't have to feel bad about it, Midoriya. Todoroki chimed in as he took her place the other side of Deku, leaving enough space for Zero to sit beside him too. But I thought we were just good friends. Well, you are, but she also likes you. Chill anyway, I'm not even mad. You don't like her back, right? No, of course not. Wait, why would you be mad? Oh, we're dating now, he stated nonchalantly before moving his arm to wrap over Izuku's shoulder on the couch, making the freckled boy's heart race as he looked around the room rapidly. Bakugo could tell he was panicking, worrying who would notice and make it a big deal. He didn't really want the dramatics either, but they were sat together. How could he not hold him closer? To his surprise, after a moment of Izuku's whole body being extremely tense, to the point he could feel the poor boy's rapid heart rate against him, he finally took a deep breath and relaxed, leaning in closer to rest his head against Katsuki's chest and gently place a hand atop his leg. It felt so comfortable, so natural. Bakugo had never been one to enjoy physical contact at all, but something about spending time in Izuku's body made it so much easier to be close to him. Todoroki was simply staring at them both, eyes wide but brow furrowed as he looked on in a form of horror and confusion, until his expression softened the moment he spotted his boyfriend walking over. Hey, do you know about, He looked back toward the pair and Zero simply raised an eyebrow before sighing and sitting beside Todoroki, subconsciously mimicking Bakugo's position and slinging his arm round the boy's shoulders. Yeah, Bakugo just told us, but I didn't actually believe him till I saw them all cuddled up like that. They're cute, I think. I can hear you, you know. Do all you lot think I'm deaf or something? Hey, congrats Midoriya, but Bakugo, if you break his heart I will fight you. Cha, as if I would ever. Besides, it's not like you'd be able to do much. I'd fight myself first, trust me. Todoroki simply laughed and got comfier on the couch, feeling warm inside that his best friend's crush was actually requited. He imagined Deku was over the moon, despite how nervous he looked as he began to mumble quietly. Ka-chan? How are we gonna tell everyone? Well, it doesn't need to be a big deal, I can just say it now. Right now? Well, we're already being pretty obvious, and I don't care about what they'll think, so, unless you care. I'll stop being obvious if you want me to. What? No, it's okay, this is nice. Phew, alright. What was that about? I guess I just keep worrying that I'm not doing this right. I don't wanna mess anything up and ruin it. You could change your mind any moment, you know? Ka-chan. He spoke softly before curling further against him, making the blonde boy's heart thump harder in his chest. I don't think anything you could do would ever change how I feel about you. Oh, but, you're giving me way too much leeway. You've gotta get mad when I upset you. Stop worrying, it's unlike you. I like you because you're you, Ka-chan. I don't want you to change yourself because you think you need to fit some sort of relationship standard. Katsuki had never felt the way his heart seemed to literally expand in his chest. It kinda almost hurt. but Izuku was being so fucking cute right now that he absolutely couldn't stop himself from doing what happened next. He turned and pressed his lips against Izuku's head. It felt so natural, pressing a soft kiss against his temple, nose nestling into that soft hair he loved so much, before he turned and called out to the rest of their classmates. Hey extras, Bakugo, you really should stop calling us that. Deku's my boyfriend, so some of you will have to stop the flirting you've been doing up till now. He instantly looked over to Yurika, whose face flushed pink as she stared in shock. What? Are you for real? Look at how they're sat and look how shy Deku-kun is. It's totally for real. Please don't think of us any differently. Cha, of course they should. They should think of you as off limits. They're still my friends, Ka-chan. Well, that's whatever. Just as long as they know. Oh, I think they know. It's not a big deal. Everyone can carry on. He waved his hands around shyly and the others did all gradually look away and continue with their conversation, albeit more of them now being about a new topic. Sigh. Are you alright? That was a lot. We ripped the band-aid off. Now there's nothing to worry about. I guess, thanks Ka-chan, I wouldn't have been able to do that. Hey, what shit movie are we watching anyway? It's not shit. You can't judge it by the title, okay? I swear it's super good. K-pop Demon Hunters? Izuku, do we have to stay here or can we go back to my dorm? It looks kind of fun, Ka-chan, we should stay. Ugh, if we weren't dating I would just go. But we are, so you'll stay. He had no argument. He just grinned like a fool looking down into Izuku's sparkling eyes. They were crinkled in the corners as he giggled, and Katsuki couldn't believe how long he'd lied to himself by pretending the boy before him wasn't the most beautiful thing he'd ever seen. If I'm honest, I really just need this video to end and had no clue how to end it. I'm so sorry. I never planned for a part 3, but it feels like it's been quite a while since I actually dedicated an entire video to BAKUDEKU after they got together. I usually prefer writing the build-up and basically cut it off once they get there. But for this one I'm actually down to make a third part, if you guys want one, that is. It feels like this version of BAKUDEKU is just fun, and they have so much more potential. I mean, they still haven't kissed, haven't said anything more than that they like each other. They could go on their first date. Maybe see Inko again plus Bakugo's parents, maybe a double or triple date with Todoroki and Kirikami. There's lots I can still do for an interesting third part, and I'd love to hear any of your ideas in the comments if you do want one. Anyways, sorry it ended so abruptly. I hope you enjoyed the video anyway. Love you all loads and thank you for watching. Don't forget my stream on the 10th, please stop by.